What's happening, everyone? James Lynch here doing a quick reaction video to the news that Henry Cejudo and Song Yadong has been added to UFC Seattle. And I gotta be honest, this is a bit surprising to me in the sense for a couple of reasons. First off, Henry Cejudo seems to only take really big fights in the weight class these days, ever since he came out of retirement, if you look at who he's competed against. I know Song Yadong has been in a main event before, a couple main events, I think. And, obviously a ranked opponent, but this is just an interesting matchup because there's also talk of Cejudo maybe going down to 125. I like this fight a lot. I think it's a cool matchup. I just, I kind of had it in my head that Cejudo would only take sort of big name fights. I know Merab doesn't really fit that criteria that much, but, if he had beaten Merab, he was probably going to get a title shot. So good for Song Yadong getting another big fight here, right? If you look at who he's fought, it's pretty much the most notable fighters in the weight class. Let's do a quick tail of the tape here. You got Henry Cejudo, who is 37, going to be turning 38 before this fight because this fight's on the 22nd. So he'll be 38 when he fights Song Yadong, 5'4" with a 67.5 inch reach. And Song Yadong is much younger here, 27 years old, 5'8" with a 67 inch reach. So you'll see there, Cejudo with a 0.5 reach advantage. Song Yadong, 5'8" compared to 5'4", and he's obviously a lot younger in this spot as well. 10 years or close to that, maybe. When Song Yadong, he's turning December, he'll be 28. So about a 10-year age gap here between these two. But man, what a great card this is turning out to be. UFC Seattle. I'm most likely going to be going, I am going to be going to this one, still figuring out the logistics. But you already on this card have, Edson Barbosa, Steve Garcia, Ketlen Vieira, and Macy Chasson's a pretty big fight in the weight class. You got Brendan Allen, Anthony Hernandez. That in itself could have been the main event. You got this kind of bizarre fight between Curtis Blades and Rizvan Kuniev. You've got, a couple other names. Gene Silva's on this card. Medeiros and the Brazilian going to be fighting. This is a pretty solid event for the UFC's return to Seattle. It's going to be taking place at Climate Pledge Arena, which is where the Seattle Kraken play. It's a really great arena. If you haven't been there, it's pretty state of the art. I just think, I guess I'm just wondering what Cejudo's plan is here. I suppose he could win this fight and maybe another fight and then get back into title contention. But to me, at his age, it's I don't really know where he sees himself, especially, we have the Umar and Merab title fight coming up here pretty soon. He's lost back-to-back fights. For me, Cejudo would need at least 2 wins, I think, to get into title contention. Plus, you've already got a bit of a logjam here with the with what's happening right now. You got Petr Yan, who's kind of waiting in the wings. He got a big win in his last fight. Corey Sandhagen, we'll see who he gets booked against next. Davison Figueiredo appears to be leaving the weight class and moving down. So, rankings wise, it makes sense. I just think with Cejudo and, part of the reason he retired in the first place was, he wanted some more money. They must have given him some good money for this fight here. As far as a pick goes, I think Cejudo wins this. Remember, his fight with Merab was razor close. I think with Song Yadong, there's still that potential of him improving every fight, but we've seen him lose a couple of key contender fights, Petr Yan being one of them, Corey Sandhagen being the other. He can beat the ranked opponents he's supposed to. And I know he is younger in this spot, but I would favor Cejudo here in this fight. And I think as far as the betting odds go, he probably will be the favorite just because if you look at who Cejudo has lost to, his last 2 losses were pretty close fights against Sterling and Merab. And these are 2 of the top fighters in the weight class. I know Sterling obviously moving up now, but I think Cejudo would likely win a decision here. So we don't know if this is the main event. I'm assuming it is. I can't imagine Henry Cejudo fighting, being a co-main event on a fight night card or, just a main card fight. So it hasn't been officially announced 100%, but Damon Martin very much plugged in, obviously has very close ties to Cejudo's management. So I'm assuming this fight's going to happen. Good fight for UFC Seattle. And like I said, a very good fight night card so far with all the fights that have been put together. So very impressed with the UFC and what they've been able to do. So I'm going to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Were you surprised to see this fight get booked? What's your early prediction on this one? Again, I'm going to go Cejudo decision. I'll do an early look on this as well when the fight gets announced, but that's where I stand right now. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, @Lynch on Sports. My name is James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.